I edit the paper. I help with strategic planning. I help with lining up stories. I take photos for the paper. I help put out fires in times of crisis.
Jen, I see you as a one-to-one person. You are more one-to-one than David. David is more cracking things out. I appreciate it. Newspaper very well. I know you are too, but you are pretty much more of the public, aren't you, David?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes.
And what have you found? What have been some of the unusual photographs that you take? Have you run into, I know that having dabbled in it a bit, you run into funny situations. Tell us.
Oh, I've run into, it's amazing some of the situations I've run into. I've run into what I thought were happily married couples, and I see them fighting. And then I hope that maybe I could bring up a little bit of light on that moment for them, so I ask them to smile for me for a cute photo. So they do it, and then I walk off. Sometimes I see people that you wouldn't expect maybe drink a little too much. Sometimes I see a woman yelling at her child. But for the most part, what I see are very, very positive things. I see the enthusiasm at the South End Youth Baseball League when our team wins the game. A few years ago, they won the World Series, and I just was so thrilled. I saw the parents, I saw the children, the coaches, and of course, that made me feel wonderful.
Have you ever thought of possibly you could write little vignettes? Because I see you all over the city, having experienced all kinds of different aspects of city life.
I could, and I have some thoughts maybe going forward that I might do that if I could ever find that moment to put it into print.
You should be making notes when these things happen.
Oh, I do.
You don't have to be in depth, but just quick notes if you listen to the memory coming back to what happened.
I do that. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, I was organizing my old photographs, and I thought, I don't remember David with an umbrella twirling around in the middle of Park Square in pouring rain, thinking that he was Gene Kelly.
That sounds like a keeper.
It is a keeper. I don't remember David sliding on the ice down Beacon Hill, sort of using the snowplow with his feet as a sheet of ice one day. So, and I see a lot of other interesting things.
Politically and socially. Let me ask David. David, you have been adding reports, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about it.
With growth, we have more neighborhoods to cover. In fact, I think we'd be growing even faster, but finding just the right reporters who fit into our corporate culture.
Are you the real estate expert, or do you have somebody else that comes in? Because you have a central section that is very important for real estate.
Oh yes, the bottom line is in the Boston Courant, Jen is the creative genius. She will come to me with ideas. I will say, no, it doesn't make any sense. We will try them in order to stay happily married, and they tend to end up being the most popular sections of the newspaper.
But it works out both of these. I do think of you as being very business oriented, and we women have a tendency to kind of, fluctuate, what have you. I don't see you fluctuate. I see you making very hard decisions that have to be made. You've expanded. You've gone from kind of a tiny little office. I understand your new office is quite lovely.
We've actually become the third largest circulation newspaper in the entire city of Boston.
Have you really?
Yes, we have.
Oh,
after the Globe and the Herald.
Well, it is, I have to say, our guests have been David Jacobs and Genvieve Tracy. And in a field where you see newspapers, diminishing, it's really very depressing. You look at the Courant, and the Courant is going against all these odds. And it's attributed to David Jacobs on my left and Tracy on my right. They've come together as a couple. They were super exciting, marvelous business. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us tonight. This has been the Smoki Bacon and Dick Concannon Show.